happening, everybody? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Tiger Woods was in a near fatal car accident in California this week. He has had multiple surgeries on his legs. Apparently, he broke both of his legs and shattered his ankle, but it looks like he is going to be okay. He looks like he is going to actually be able to make a full recovery. I guess the biggest thing that they've been saying on TV all day today is that they fear for infection, but they're going to constantly be on top of it. I mean, he's a millionaire. He's a professional athlete. They're going to be on top of it 24/7. But the accident was nearly fatal, and a lot of the police departments and health departments and stuff out there in California said, man, he's lucky to be alive. Like, I mean, this is that simple. Like this car crash, I mean, his car was flipped upside down. It rolled over and spun for 700 yards. Like it flipped off the road for 700 yards. For those who don't understand how far 700 yards is, I mean, it's 7 football fields. Like that is insane, incredible. And his car's left to pieces, left to shreds. They had to actually use a machine to get him out. I think I forgot what it was called, but they had to use a machine to actually claw Tiger out of his car. And it was just incredible. But I'm saying all that to say this. His wreck has now put a lot of things into perspective. He'll probably never play golf again. And once that official retirement is made by Tiger, prayers up to him and to his family. But once that official statement is made, I'll kind of go more into depth of that. And I'm sure it'll be made within the next, whenever he's healthy, apparently. But maybe he'll try to make a comeback. I don't know. But just what this car wreck does, and it comes like shortly after the release of that HBO documentary of Tiger Woods. And what it does is it puts his career into perspective. I don't know if you guys realize, but over a 10-year period, over a 10-year span, I don't know if there was a bigger athlete in the history of sports bigger than Tiger Woods. Like the impact that Tiger Woods made on a PGA tour and in a sport like golf, which didn't accept black people, right? Like baseball integrated and they allowed black people, football integrated and allowed black people, basketball integrated, allowed black people. However you feel about that, whether you feel like black people should have created their own leagues or not, I'm with you on that boat. But regardless, that's just what happened. Like we just have to go with what happened, and what has or has not, or what didn't happen or has not happened. Just we got to push that away. But golf was a sport that was never really integrated. Like even after Tiger came through, there were still courses in the 90s that he wasn't allowed to golf at, that they had to like change the rules to allow him to golf in the 90s, like, not in the 60s or 70s, or damn it, even the 80s. We're talking about in the 1990s, there were still courses that had rules that did not permit Tiger Woods, because he was black, to golf there, right? This is incredible. So what he was able to do in a sport that really didn't want him, not to say any of the sports really ever wanted black people, at least in the beginning, but even as recent as the 90s, didn't really want him. The accomplishments he was able to have were incredible. Now, like I said, that first 10 years, I don't know if there is a golfer from 96, let's give him from 97 to 2006, 7, maybe even 8. 8 is when he won his last major before the Masters in 2019. So from 98 to 2008, I don't know if you find a better 10-year span in sports history. Jordan's 90s were pretty incredible. 6 championships in 8 years, essentially. What Brady's been able to do, but he's done it over 20 years. 7 championships. Serena, she's done it over 20 years. Ali has done it over a certain amount of time. Tiger did it in a 10-year span. Tiger did it in a 10-year span that was just like the pinnacle of sports, and was incredible. And it's so funny because the next 10 years he had from that 08 to 2019, he had a horrible 10 years. His relationship, his marriage fell apart. His scandals came out. He lost his endorsements. He had all these surgeries. He couldn't stay healthy. Everything that could go bad went bad. His father died. Like it's just everything that could come out that was wrong could be wrong. And the HBO documentary, and I advise you to go watch it because it was really good. It got kind of gossipy at one point towards the end, but that's because that was what Tiger Woods was a constant tabloid, right? Like all these women coming out, they slept with him. He was cheating on his wife with, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different women in all these different states, and all these women were in love with him and all this craziness. Like, so it kind of got a little tabloidish towards the end. But Tiger was just amazing. And to see him come back in 2019 and win that Masters right before the pandemic, it was just insane. It was like, oh my God, this dude can still do it. Now, like I said, his golf career is more than likely over. And the day he makes his announcement or he retires from the game, I'll go in depth about that 10-year span, about how great it was. But I just want to like conceptualize and put in context how his first 10 years, he was like a freaking superstar. He was a rock star. He was Michael Jackson and Drake combined, right? Like he was both of them. And then the next 10 years, he was one of the most hated men in America. Right, like he was hated so much because he cheated on his poor little wife, right? That was a nanny before she got with Tiger. Let's not tweak. Tiger was earning. He's passed $1 billion in career earnings. His net worth is probably upwards of 700 million, and he married a nanny. I'm not saying right or wrong, but he married a nanny. Like this is just the truth. You can make your judgment from there, but he married a nanny, and then he was the most hated man in America, and then he became a person. He became our Tiger again when he won that 2019 Masters. And that's why this car wreck is so devastating, because a lot of people still love Tiger Woods. You know, whether we think he was B1 or whatever from the beginning, the man made up a word, said he wasn't black, said he was black ablation or whatever it was. But as far as like a golfer, as far as a sports icon, Tiger Woods is up there with some of the best and might be the GOAT to some people. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. I post content on there all the time. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.